Oh no, I hope it wasn't a masterpiece.
Well, it's not now.
It's the new season on Sunday morning. And here again is Jane Pauley.
That's Demi Moore with Patrick Swayze in the movie Ghost, a performance that earned her a Golden Globe nomination. Moore would go on to become one of Hollywood's most successful and highest paid actors. But as she tells our Tracy Smith, her rise to stardom was anything but easy.
How long have you lived here?
Since 2005. It's had some interesting incarnations. It was a house with 3 kids, and now it's just me and my silly pack of dogs.
It's hard to think of Demi Moore as a grandmother who lives alone, but here she is, and doing what some are calling the best work of her career.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself?
Her latest film, The Substance, is about an aging TV star who finds a sinister-looking potion that can give her a younger, more perfect version of herself, but at a terrible price. The story is pure fiction, but Moore says the issue of women putting themselves through hell to look perfect is real, and one that she's grappled with for much of her life.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
You've talked about how when you were younger, early on, you felt that idea of my value is in my attractiveness.
I put so much pressure on myself, and I did have experiences of being told to lose weight, and all of those, while they may have been embarrassing and humiliating, it's what I did to myself because of that.
Well, some things aren't for sale.
Such as?
Well, you can't buy people.
For example, when she was shooting 1993's Indecent Proposal, she would ride a bike every day from her home in Malibu to Paramount Studios in Hollywood. That's around 30 miles each way.
And you were nursing a baby?
I think she was like 5 or 6 months old when we were shooting that. So I was feeding her through the night, getting up in the dark with a trainer, with headlamp, biking all the way to Paramount, wherever, even on location where we were shooting, then shooting a full day, which is usually a 12-hour day, and then starting all over again.
Oh my goodness.
Even just the idea of like what I did to my body, it's like so crazy, so ridiculous.
But you thought it was what was required at the time.
Yeah, but you look back and you kind of go, did it really matter that much? Probably not. But at the time, I made it mean everything.
Kevin, I'm curious. You know all those nights we stayed up talking? How come you never made a pass at me?
Demi Moore's been in the spotlight since the 80s, a talented and at the time troubled member of Hollywood's so-called Brat Pack. On screen, she sparkled. Off screen, she struggled with self-esteem.
When you look at St. Elmo's Fire or About Last Night, what do you think? What do you see?
I just have a lot of compassion for what a scared little girl I actually really was, even though I didn't let anybody see that.
Even though you came across as so confident.
And if I could go back, I would give her a hug and say, it's okay. It's okay.
It was okay. Moore went on to become the highest paid woman in the business, and she lifted other women as well. When she got a record $12.5 million for the 1996 movie Striptease, other women in Hollywood demanded and got bigger paychecks themselves. She also challenged the notion of things like whether a 40-year-old woman should wear a bikini. And after shaving her head for 1997's G.I. Jane, how long a woman's hair should be when she reached a certain age. Now, at 61, her hair hangs to her waist.
After I shaved my head, I think I just started to let my hair grow with the idea that you can have long hair if that's what you want. Who says that it's not okay? And I've heard it many times.
Really?
Yeah. If I didn't think I liked how I looked, then I would cut it. But it's really like, I don't know.
Is there a problem? No, it's perfect. You're a good candidate.
And in The Substance, she's once again asking, why do we think this way?
Okay, what's next?
What's next? I want to talk about this scene where you're going out for a date and you keep looking in the mirror. What was the process like shooting that?
It was difficult. Emotionally, that idea that I think many of us have been where we're trying to make something better and then we just keep making it worse. For me, it's one of the most heart-wrenching moments in the whole film. It was at least 15 takes each time. And so by the end, my face was raw.
Oh my goodness. What do you do after a day like that?
You go fall apart. You just go fall into your bed.
For you personally, today when you look in the mirror, what do you think?
It fluctuates. Some days I look and I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. And some days I catch myself dissecting, hyper-focusing on, things that I don't like. The difference is now I can catch myself. I can go, yep, I don't like that loose skin. But, it is what it is. So I'm going to make the best of what is, as opposed to chasing what isn't.
Give me an example of that, something that maybe you chased that in retrospect you lost something.
It's like this idea where I go, I used to think, like my face, it's like, so chubby, I have no angles, I have nothing. And then you're like, yeah, but now it's like loose. I wouldn't mind some of that chubbiness back in the right places.
So today is the day that you usually go visit Bruce?
I mean, when I'm in town, I try to go over every week.
Moore has 3 grown children with ex-husband Bruce Willis, who's now living with dementia.
The important thing is just to meet him where he's at, as opposed to being attached to who he was, how he was, because again, that only just puts you in a place of loss versus being in the present, meeting him where he's at, and finding the joy and the loving of just all that is where he is.
It seems Demi Moore has found peace with the things that are beyond her control, a wisdom and a freedom that, if we're lucky enough, come naturally in a long and interesting life.
I think that I'm sitting in a different place in my life than I've ever been. I have the most autonomy. My children are grown. I have my most independence that I've ever had. And so I just am really trying to focus on what really brings me joy. I don't like to project and say, well, this is where I want to be, because I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be. But I know that it's an opportunity for me to actually have a good time.
Hello, this is Donald Trump from Mr. Cohen. Thank you so much.
Donald who?
Attack, attack, attack.
It's going to be the finest building in the country, in the world. It's going to be spectacular.
We're not interested in a treatment that accidentally wastes our time.
Why are you taking the risk?
I can't bear the thought of being forgotten.
You feel that? That's your blood.
The greatest temple Rome ever built. The Colosseum. Because this is what they believe in. Power.
She doesn't give a twig what anyone thinks.
Something is not the same. Of course she does. She just pretends not to.